All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Martin Luther King Day. We are so glad that you are here to help celebrate the conclusion of our annual Martin Luther King Jr. Inspiration Contest. We can't think of a better way of how to spend our day, so we really appreciate you joining us. So if you're not familiar, we are Mentor Maryland, DC. So we are an affiliate of the National Mentoring Partnership, and it's National Mentoring Month. So this is a time where we are particularly active, and the National Mentoring Partnership and us. So we're a regional affiliate. Obviously, we cover Maryland and DC. That's in our name. And throughout the year, but especially during this month, our aim is to ensure and expand quality mentoring across our region and across the United States. So we do that in a lot of ways, but essentially we don't connect with the local mentoring programs that are in the community and that are connected with you, young people, and ensure that they have everything they need to put on great programming, connect with amazing young people. So especially during this month, National Mentoring Month, this is when we all essentially get really rowdy about it and ensure that everybody's talking about it out in the field. And then especially at the end of the month, we'll be in DC advocating and talking to our senators and representatives about it too. So it's a really exciting time of year for us. And that's why we do things like this, to get as many people, again, talking about it, excited about it, and we like to specifically connect with young people during this time, which is why we hold this contest every year to connect with young people across our district and the like. So this is the second time that since we've expanded into DC that we've been able to connect with our DC young people as well. So it's exciting that we now cover an even wider area that we can connect with and celebrate Martin Luther King Day, but also the National Mentoring Month. So this year we were planned by committee, and a committee of some of our younger talent here at Mentor Maryland DC. So our Mentor Maryland DC Vistas, and we'll talk about our Arch for Learning intern as well. But I want to announce introduce to you the actual people who did this planning today, because I am just your MC. So when I introduce you, please wave on video. But these are lovely contest planning committees. So one of our AmeriCorps Vistas, Andrew Lolavar, another Vista from Mentor Maryland DC, Jordan Mitchell, Zia Ashraf, who I believe is having internet connectivity issues this morning. He is a second-year AmeriCorps Vista with us here at Mentor Maryland DC. Dakota Shamblin, who's an AmeriCorps Vista alum with Mentor Maryland DC, and now she's a part-time program associate with us. One of our Mentor Maryland DC AmeriCorps Vistas, Michael Molly McCaskill, who's on the call this morning. And then you're about to hear a lot more about this, but one of the Arch for Learning Bloomberg Arts interns, Cheyenne Sullivan, they were able to put together our contest this year and the adjudicating, and you'll hear all more about that, how the contest was set up. But they put on everything and organized this year. And we were glad that this was more youth powered and younger people powered this year than I'm surprised everyone. I'm actually very old. So we were glad that this was more younger people powered this year, and we hope that's how it's going to be more so in the future, younger and younger powered, because we know that our youth are organized and smart and brilliant, and they can do these things for themselves. So I'm going to pass it to Christina Burden from Arch for Learning, and she'll talk about how we partnered this year to organize this contest this year.
Awesome. Thank you, Renee.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I am Christina. I'm coming to you from Arts for Learning Maryland, and in particular, the Bloomberg Arts Internship Program. Super grateful to be in partnership with Mentor Maryland DC to ensure that this contest was really organized by young people, including Cheyenne, who was one of our Bloomberg Arts interns this past summer. Next slide, please. So as I shared, I'm one of the education directors at Arts for Learning Maryland, and there we really have a mission to transform the lives and education of young people by connecting educators, artists, and communities. And we do this by supporting artists and teachers to integrate the arts in many ways, from school culture to into the content of what is being taught, through celebrations, through residencies, through assemblies, through core programs, summer programs, and so much more. Next slide, please. One of our programs is the Bloomberg Arts Internship Program, and that is one that I facilitate each summer. It is something I truly love doing. We are one of 5 cities that are funded by Bloomberg Philanthropies to put on this program. I'm actually coming to you live from my pandemic Zoom room when we were all coming together in the summers of 2020 and 2021 through these screen tangles. But thankfully, we are now back in person. What this program aims to do is to provide an experience for young people to gain meaningful workforce experience in arts and cultural organizations in our fine city, to prepare young people to apply and transition to college through a variety of professional development, to really engage our young people in the Baltimore City vibrant arts culture. Every single summer, I learned something new about this amazing city in which we live. It also aims to help students strengthen their oral and written communication skills. And finally, we really want our young people to be able to connect, create, and catalyze change in their lives and communities through being part of this BAI community each summer and beyond. Next slide, please. So what does this actually look like, this summer internship? What it means is that after a full week of orientation, our interns will go to their worksite placements Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we have quite a variety of arts and cultural organizations where young people can work. And then they come back to us on Thursdays and Fridays, where they are with their fellow interns and our amazing staff to do professional development. And that is really focused on college prep, financial management, writing. And then on Friday is our really delicious day with field trips, artist and entrepreneur panels, and a lot of public speaking practice as we work towards our culminating event each summer, in which each intern has the opportunity to share the story of their summer with the full community. Next slide, please. This is just a sampling of our 2022 work sites. We really hope they will all come back for next summer, but you can see that it is a wide variety of different kinds of arts and cultural organizations, from theaters to art programming to Dance and Be More, all these opportunities, and interns have the opportunity to rank where they would like to work over the summer and connect with those organizations to figure out the best fit for where they will work. Next slide, please. Oh, there was one more, but I guess it's gone. All right, just want to let you know that I can put into the chat the link to our website that has all the information that you need in order to apply for this program. So if you are a current junior, rising Baltimore City senior, you can apply to be part of the program. On our website, you will also find a one-stop shop created by one of our youth ambassadors. And in that, you can find everything you could possibly need to learn about the program and apply to the program, including being able to fill out a form. If you are someone who works in a school, you can fill out a form to have an information session delivered by our youth ambassadors. And if you are a junior who's super curious and wants to just connect with one of those ambassadors, either before applying or while you're applying, there's a form you can fill out to that. So I'm super grateful to have this opportunity to share this program with you. I hope that some of you will apply if you are eligible. And finally, I just want to say congratulations to everyone who submitted to this MLK challenge, with an extra dose of hooray for the folks who are receiving awards today. So thank you.
Thank you, Christina. And sorry about that missing slide. We will try to get that slide for when we send this information out, since this is an opportunity that applies to some of the high schoolers who participated today and are on the call today. So we will make sure you have that information, because this is an awesome opportunity and applies directly to some of our participants. So that is really exciting. And I wish I got to do this however many years ago when I was in high school. So as we mentioned, mentoring starts here at Mentor Maryland, DC, and we wanted to, put our money where our mouth is, and not just put this, challenge out to you all and not participate ourselves. So some of our committee members answered the MLK inspiration prompt and are going to share what they wrote. So we're not just asking our young people to do all the work and not participate ourselves. So I'm going to hand it over and let them share some of their responses to our inspiration prompt, starting with Michael Molly.
Good morning, everyone. Based on what I've learned about Martin Luther King Jr., his mentors, and his mentees, I believe I would like to impart the value of collaboration onto my prospective mentees, specifically 2 parts of collaboration. Number 1 being you can't expect to do and know everything by yourself, and it is important to know when, how, and why to ask for help. Hopefully, I will be able to cultivate a relationship with my prospective mentees where they can work as independently as they want and still feel freely to come to me for any problem they may have. And number 2, I also want to encourage my mentees to seek out information they don't know and be willing to learn from someone more knowledgeable than them without ego. They don't have to endure being patronized as they learn, but they also have to be unwilling to learn. They also have to not be unwilling to learn out of pride. There is a difference between not having humility and knowing your own worth, and I'd hope to be able to establish that difference with my mentees.
Thank you. And then next we have Andrew.
Right. So because of his capacity to motivate and set an example, I believe that Martin Luther King was like a strong mentor to like many people. As you guys know, he devoted his life to civil rights movement and never stopped like advocating for justice and equality for everyone. In addition, he like possessed a strong moral compass and sense of integrity, which acted as a beacon for those he taught. My mentor, he taught me to understand the value of volunteering and the constructive effects it can have in society. By offering direction, encouragement, and setting a positive example, he motivated me to give back to my community. My mentor, Martin Luther King, they have traits that kind of make it possible for them to motivate others and instill like a strong sense of morality and integrity in others, and emphasize the importance of peace over violence. Like emphasizing the importance of teamwork and togetherness. My mentor constantly spoke about and showed by constantly speaking with community leaders, asking for like what they need assistance in, as well as leading discussions between them and to lead them understanding what they can do for each other. And I think of like to encourage my mentees to work towards having a positive effect in their communities. Like if I was a mentor, I would aim to create in them a sense of purpose and enthusiasm. I would try to like provide an excellent example by highlighting the value of honesty, diligence, perseverance, and accomplishing one's objectives. And I would also offer direction and assistance, assisting my mentees in overcoming any obstacles that they might encounter.
Thanks, Andrew. And then I'll pass it to Dakota.
Good morning. So I chose to answer the part of the prompt that says, from what you've learned about MLK, his mentors and mentees, if you were a mentor, how would you inspire your mentees? And I put storytelling through art, and storytelling itself, verbally or written, is also a form of art. I particularly relate to visual art more. So that's why I put that there. But I'll read this quote, and it says, beyond cultivating a culture of care, connection, and compassion, storytelling, particularly in the form of counter narratives, can be leveraged I don't know that word, but teaching to develop critical consciousness by exploring how differences in social group membership, specifically those related to power and privilege, perpetuate oppression. And so particularly that part on counter narratives, I think you'll see in the life pieces to masterpieces. We had these at our recent conference. And those are sort of storytelling through art, countering certain stories or narratives or biases that are told about a group of people, whether that be based on your race, based on where you are located, your community that you're a part of, or even your religion, things of those sorts. There's always bias or stories told about you that are negative and honestly untrue. And so I think through art, countering those and the harm that it's done is one way to like inform yourself. And you'll see underneath the word critical consciousness, And that's the ability to intervene in reality in order to change it. And so through art, through any type of self-expression, I believe we sort of counter that and cultivate this critical consciousness. And it allows for a sense of autonomy, self-governance, being able to freedom from external control in sort of ways. So I feel like that is liberating in a sense, especially as a young kid, not really having the words to articulate. Sometimes I found expression through art was helpful in that way. So there is my piece, and I'll pass it back to you, Renee.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. So now, as we've shared some of ours, we want to get everybody involved. So I'm going to pause my share real quick, and we're going to build a word cloud together with some of our, and my dog is participating as well. Thank you very much. We're going to build a word cloud together about kind of our thoughts and experience about Martin Luther King and mentoring, which is what, I'm sure as you've gathered thus far, kind of what our inspiration challenge is about how Martin Luther King was a mentor and how he was also mentored by others. So Dakota is going to drop the link in the chat so you can participate, and I'm going to switch my screen so you can see as we build it together. Can everyone see? Is that working?
Yes.
Okay. So Dakota, or I think I can drop it. Yeah. So if you click that, it should be able to take you to submit your answers. But when you think of Dr. King and you think of mentoring, I know our participants, you guys definitely know. But type up some words when you think of him and mentoring, and what comes to mind. And we'll see if anybody has overlapping thoughts, because a word cloud, the more a word is repeated, the bigger it shows up. So we'll give that a few minutes. Inspiring. Let's go live. Encouragement. Focus. Time. Yeah, it's so important about mentoring. It's the time we put into it. Peacemaker, not about acceptance, right? Tolerance, optimistic purpose, relationships, impactful, power, effort, right? Giving somebody your time and effort and care helps build relationships. Time. Minister, right? Often people find a mentor in somebody like a minister, somebody in that role. Leader. Compassion. Compassionate people we can find connection with easily. Just another person. Right. Thank you all for participating. I believe I'll be able to save our word cloud, share it with you all. I send out the slide. Oh, a few more just came through. And these will be up for a little bit as well as you submit. I should be able to share our word cloud out with you all. We recreated today. We created our own piece of art, which is exciting. So thank you all for participating. Let me reset. Ooh. Oh. There we go. Okay, so I am excited to announce that we do have a performance today. And we have Marin Levy Wright Care with us today. She is a 21-year-old multi-award winning Afro-Surrealist poet, painter, DJ, muralist, sculptor, 2D animator, sorcerer, teaching artist, an all-around multi-dimensional creator based here in Baltimore City, Maryland. I've had the privilege of working with her before, so this isn't in her bio, but that's in my personal bio, and I'm happy about it. She's been Baltimore City's Youth Poet Laureate, as well as the National Poet Youth Ambassador, representing the Northeast region. She is showcased and performed at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum, Baltimore Poets, and on Maryland Public Television. And she sees art as a powerful force of alchemy, strong enough to inspire and alter minds, bodies, and souls. So I'm going to close our screen so we can make Marin really big so we can see her and feel the full impact of her performance. So welcome, Marin. I'm going to close our screen so we can see you. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Miss Renee. I miss you so much. I'm so thankful that you reached out to me for this event. I've been happy listening and watching everything. But yes, hello. My name is Marin. I'm about to do some poems for you guys. But first, I wanted to, this whole event had me thinking about my own relationship with like mentorship and the mentors in my life. And I feel like I'm really grateful to be able to say that like I've had a lot of amazing, inspiring mentors, and one of them, and maybe the most influential one, being my own mother. And so this first poem I'm about to do is kind of inspired by her, and just like how certain steps she's made in her path, just watching her make those steps has like inspired me and been mentoring for me. So yeah, here goes this poem. It doesn't have a title yet, and it's pretty short. But yeah, I'm gonna read this, and then hopefully 2 more poems if I have time. Yeah, okay. I am to God like a leaf to a tree. My mother, to me, she is the tree to her seed. It is my responsibility to grow in gratitude, to let my roots wrap tightly around the truth. Let my fallen branches fertilize the future, so my saplings see something to look forward to. Possibilities of viewing the world like me, not just a rose struggling to grow against concrete, but to be a full-blown, super strong, peaceful, powerful evergreen. Thank you. And that is that first poem. Yay. So I'm gonna get into 2 more poems. Yeah, that one's just about how my mom inspires me to like go even further than anywhere I could have thought I went. Thank you. So this next poem is called Heavily Shielded Souls. And it, the way I feel it relates to the prompts that I've been exploring is, I feel like I've seen a lot of like elders in my personal community, or just people who want to be mentors who the way they engage with youth, like they know everything already, or they like have experienced the whole world. And it's like I like mentors who can engage with me from a space of also still being a student and not just a teacher, so we can like learn from each other and whatnot. And I find that when it comes to like trauma-informed mentoring, I feel like, okay, this will come into play in a moment, but when it comes to trauma-informed mentoring, I feel like a lot of mentors haven't really engaged with their own, what they need to heal within themselves before like trying to engage with someone else's trauma and their healing. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into the poem. Let me stop like explaining stuff. Okay. You must feel in order to heal, says the soul. So much easier said than done when the heart is a storm drain. During the longest winter you remember, you are frozen in time like the past, and icicles loiter where there once was free flowing fluid. in the veins, now more pain than blood. How bitterness burrows into your face, digs into your dimples and hides you from your own smile. How trauma takes residence in your skin and is the worst tenant, taking over your body, tearing relationships apart. How hurt people lay locked away from love. Maya Angelou says that love liberates. And I find we often lose when we too afraid to love our communities, digging holes so deep we no longer reach each other, heavily shielded souls, sometimes too numb to fully feel, but unhealed. Pain is a debt collector. You don't need to pay it money. You need to pay it attention. Thank you. Yeah, that's Heavily Shielded Souls. I feel like our own pain can sometimes create a blockage where we can't really engage with each other authentically because we're so like inside out inside, or at least that's how I felt before I really like engaged with my own healing journey. I'm not healed, that's why I say healing, because it's a process, you feel me? So yeah, thank you guys so much for rocking with me. I'm gonna do one more poem. And I think this one is kind of my favorite of my little set for you guys today. So yeah, and when I think about bringing it back to Martin Luther King, I often think about if he ever like thought or knew that he would have this kind of impact on people when he was just like living in his purpose and being his authentic self. Like, did he know that there would be a whole day dedicated to him, events dedicated to him, honoring him and his impact? So this is just taking like that and putting it into the present day. So yeah, this is another untitled poem. It has no title, I'm sorry. But yeah. Does the sun know that 92,955,807 miles away from Earth, their light waves would make our plants grow? Or do they shine simply because their creator told them so? See, that's the funny thing about the divine. One may feel like they're just going through the motions, meanwhile missing any notion that their every motion is a part of their soul's mission, bringing fates into fruition. I had a dream the week before I started teaching. Imposter syndrome leeching my confidence, and I see I'm about to walk across a bridge with no rail. I'm too scared to approach. What if I walk forward and I fall, but someone stays back to support me? He helps me across. I thank him, ask him why. His reply, always play God's role. And I didn't understand. But when I woke up, it dawned on me. What if every nigga is really a star? What if God's role is the rays? The way warm love permeates the space surrounding you. If that's the case, set, but never settle. Be the solar power you are. Don't be scared to shine so bright it stings to lay eyes on you. And when I do, you leave an impression on everything else I perceive. You are someone's proof the day has begun. Sunchild, when you live in your purpose, the world moves around you different. Does the sun know that 92,955,807 miles away, their light waves would make our plants grow? Or do they shine simply because their creator told them so? You will never know the cause and effects of your glow. Don't forget, every time you rise, you photosynthesize and you feed beings you won't ever see. How's that for a living legacy? Thank you so much, everyone. That was my last poem. If you guys want to rock with me, follow my art, see some of my visual art too. You can follow me on Instagram. I be on there a lot at Afrodelic. That's AFR0DELIC, like Afro, psychedelic or funkadelic. You feel me? That's the vibe we're going with. So that's me. Thank you so much for your time and your love and your energy.
Yeah, come off mute and give some claps if you can. Thank you. Marin, we'll link your stuff when we send out.
Come on.
Slides.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? Yes.
Yay. Thank you so much for coming on,
We
Marin.
feel it.
Yeah, everybody's feeling it. Look at the chat. Thank you so much. Yay. Thank you so much. Just sharing my right screen. Okay, yeah. Thank you, everybody. I love Marin. I knew you all would love it. And now everybody's hype, and that's great because we are now going to get into our winners. So I am going to hand it over to our adjudicating committee, and they will discuss how they organized adjudicating to judge our winners, and they will do our winning announcements. So I will hand it over to them and click to our next slide. So for our art category winners, I'm going to hand it over to Cheyenne. Cheyenne, I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Hey everyone. Oh my gosh, that was so powerful, Lovey. Oh, okay. So we're going to get into the art category winners. And I worked with Michael Molly on the judging criteria for both the artwork and for the essay. But I'm just going to be talking about the artwork right now. And we judged it based on the design related to the theme of Martin Luther King and his impact on his mentees, as well as creativity, originality, thoughtfulness, and completeness. However, all of the artwork that was submitted was so beautiful, and it was really hard to decide. And everyone who submitted something should be very proud of their work. And thank you for everyone that participated. All right, so let's get into the third place winner. Sorry if I say your name wrong, please correct me. So our third place winner is Shemaye Hinton Knight. Congratulations. Is the artwork gonna come up?
So I don't have our second and third place artwork up. Our artwork will be up on the website this week. I have our first place artwork up. So Shemaye, if you want to say anything about your artwork. I believe she's here on the call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello. My art piece is about youth voices not being heard. I look up to Miss Lisa Moloch, who helps youth get their voices heard. In Baltimore City, us youth wants to change our communities. So we fight against gun violence and making sure people have resources to help. So that's what my art piece is all about.
Yes, thank you so much, Shemaye.
Wow, that was so powerful. And I feel like all of that showed through in your artwork. So thank you so much. All right, second place. Our second place winner is Faith Kendrick.
Faith. We know you're here.
Yes, I'm right here. I actually submitted an essay. It wasn't actually artwork. It was actually an essay, but
Oh, I thought it was both. Like we had like the essay.
it was kind of both.
Yeah.
It's okay. But basically me and my mom did a bulletin board at my old school, Thomas Pullen, because I was devastated that I wasn't able to enter the MLK essay contest for the city of Bowie. So we decided to bring that contest to my school, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. I got extra credit from my reading class, and every day on the announcements, they decided to add more to the fun by saying trivia questions, and whoever got it right, they got a prize. And I was really, really happy that I was able to be a part of that. So thank you.
Of course, thank you so much for participating. Your artwork was beautiful. And on to the first place winner. And that is, drumroll please, Elena Hu. Congratulations. Is she here?
I believe Elena's here.
Oh, okay. Her mic's not working.
Oh no.
No.
Well, here's her art as well.
It was about her parents mentoring her at a young age. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Some nice comments in the chat. Yeah. Beautiful. Stunning. Thank you so much for sharing it with us, Elena. Yeah, I agree that it is mind-blowing, Zia. So gorgeous. Yeah, thank you for sharing it with us, Elena. Everyone is loving to see it. And all of our artwork winners will be, along with our essay winners, will be shared on our website. So at the conclusion of the awards, we'll be updating and we'll show at the end where you'll be able to find it on our website. So again, thank you so much for sharing. So I'm going to pass it over to Michael Molly now, who is going to be sharing our essay winners.
All right. Much like Cheyenne mentioned, we had many great essay submissions, and it was very, very difficult to decide which ones would go where. We ranked each submission by 7 principles: 1, addressing the mentor or the adult they look up to's assistance in their community; 2, explaining why they think Martin Luther King Jr. was such a good mentor; 3, the writer elaborates on how they would inspire their mentees based on what they learned about Martin Luther King Jr., his mentors, and his mentees; 4, clarity of concept; 5, understanding of the topic; 6, creativity; and 7, thoughtfulness. So getting on to the awards, the first place winner, wait,
Third place.
Yes, third place, I'm sorry. Third place winner is Christiana Alapa. And if she would like, she could say something.
Oh, hi everyone. So my essay was about many of my mentors. I had so many, I couldn't really pick one specifically. And I just talked about that. And towards the end, I highlighted my sister, who's like one of my biggest mentor in my life, and how she has impacted me, and how she was also similar to Dr. King and his authenticity in his way of works.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, wonderful. Second place winner is Felicity Misa Ekwa. If you would like to say something, please do.
Oh my God, I wasn't expecting winning anything. Okay, so my thing was about David Goggins, and he's the author of my favorite book, literally the book that changed my life, and how it reminded me so much of Martin Luther King.
Wow, okay. What's the title of the book?
You Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins.
Oh, wow. I'm about to write that down. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah. And all right, the first place winner, drum roll, is Joshua Olape. If you'd like to say something, please do.
Wow. Okay. So for my essay, I chose Dr. Ben Carson. And although I have like a lot of mentors, like my mom, my dad, my peers, and even teachers, I feel like throughout my life, I haven't really resonated to someone as I did with Dr. Ben Carson. And Ben Carson coming from quite an unfortunate background, and also being what some would consider like not very clever, he became someone who many know today as a notable neurosurgeon. And I believe his optimistic attitude, the attitude that one can do whatever they want as far as they put their mind to it, is what MLK taught to his mentees. For example, John Lewis even recounts MLK teaching him to be, quote, hopeful, to be optimistic, to never get lost in despair, unquote. And I feel Dr. Ben Carson was a good fit and description of such a philosophy. And even though the point of a mentor is to have a guide, it's still important for mentors to teach their mentees that they can do things independently and as well as help them achieve such an independent lifestyle. And if I were a mentor, I'd like to espouse this idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I believe Michael Molly pulled a quote. Yeah.
Yes, from Joshua's essay, as far as I can espouse this, I can truly leap through oceans and break through walls.
Yeah. Oh, pardon me. Maybe. So yes, thank you so much to all of our winners. So our third place winners today will win $75. Our second place winners will get $100, and our first place winners will get $125. So to our winners, I, Renee, will be reaching out to you via the email you submitted in your forms. You will hear from me tomorrow, Tuesday, January 17th. So do expect to hear from me. But thank you so much for joining us today. This mentormddc.org/NMM, that's National Mentoring Month, is where you will be able to find all of our winning works. We'll get that updated this week. You heard about Arts for Learning. This is their general website, but when we send out this information this week, you'll be able to get the Bloomberg Arts Internship specific information. This QR code is how you can keep up with us here at Mentor Maryland DC. That will connect you to our newsletter, which we send out weekly with different information, opportunities about what's going on with us at Mentor Maryland DC, and something is always going on. I'll tell you that for sure. We have a lot of virtual events and yeah, all kinds of things going on, especially with National Mentoring Month. This is us getting ready and planning the rest of our year, and there'll be new things going on ongoing. So it's a really exciting time of year for us. And yeah, and if you have something you want to feature in our newsletter as well, keep in touch with us. But we really aim to pack our newsletter with what's going on in your area and what may be useful to you as young people and for what's going on in your programs. So I want to thank everyone for coming. Thank you to our young people. It was for our adjudicators, they were like, wow, this is really hard because there are so many great submissions. So we really appreciate you participating and you being here. I'm going to pass it to my colleague Sada, who is our interim executive director, to close us out.
Thank you, Renee. Congrats to everyone, our third, second place, first winners, but also to everyone who actually committed and submitted their work. It's always awesome seeing everyone's artwork and writing. We've been doing this for the past few years now. Thank you to Renee kind of spearheading this event, of course, the rest of our committee. And we hope that you guys continue being part of our MLK event. I just want to close this off with saying, this is actually an excerpt that I wrote for our Youth Advisory Council, which we're going to be talking about it in the future. Read our newsletters. We want our youth to be part of our first council, but this is, we have a handbook that we're going to be sharing with our organizations who are interested in having a youth council within their own organization. So this excerpt that I wrote that I want to share with you all is, although we have many years of experience in the youth field combined, my colleagues and I wouldn't dare to proclaim ourselves as youth whisperers. It is our young people who have the key to teaching us to deliver the quality standards of our professionalism they are seeking. We are committed to begin a new practice of not only having our gems lead the conversations, but teach us how to lead from their perspective. And that goes to what Marin Lovey was saying, right? We want it to be a dialogue with our mentors and mentees. And I'm going to leave you with this reminder that a young person taught me during our youth advisory working group, which is allow yourself to pace yourself when encountering new situations. And I just hope that you use that advice so everywhere that you go, whether that's in class or within a mentoring organization, anywhere in life, just pace yourself as you're experiencing new encounters. So thank you all. Pass it on back to you, Renee.
Yes, thank you everyone so much for coming. Faith just left this beautiful message in the chat. Everyone has the ability to make the world a better place. And all we need to dream is a dream and a courage to make it happen. Thank you, Faith. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. This recording will be on our YouTube channel as well. If you want to share it with anybody who wasn't able to be here today, you'll receive an email with all the slides and that information. Keep up with us in our newsletter, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you so much for being here and participating so we could make today happen. We really, really loved it. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Hope to see you all soon. Bye, everybody.